Around the coast of Ireland there are many islands that at one time in their history most of the inhabitants made their living and provided for their families through the fishing industry. Now for many years they set to sea in crafts called currachs. This was a lightweight wooden ribbed cage structure that was covered in a canvas or a hide material, which was then coated with a pitch or tar substance to make it waterproof. Now there was hardly an island around our coast that wasn't touched by some form of fishing tragedy at some stage or other. And one of the items that assisted in the identification of the deceased was the jumper, or to use the Irish or Gaelic word, the Geansie that the fisherman wore. Now, a friend who spent a lot of time of his early years on and around the Aran Islands told me that the distinctive patterns on the Geansie would certainly identify which island you belong to. Now, this is a song telling the story of one such fisherman and one such Geansie. Martin had built his own craft, and what made this boat very unusual was that he built it as a single-man craft. He once stated that when he was in the one place in God's creation that enabled him to appreciate the artistry of its creator, then the solitude of the profession he inherited from his forefathers only enhanced his appreciation for the beauty of his surroundings. Well, on the day of the storm, he glanced at the sky, and with that usual expert eye for weather change, he announced, "The weather won't change for 4 or 5 hours, and I'll get a lot of fishing done in that time." Then Myra, his wife, speaking almost with a sixth sense, suggested that he sit this one out. Martin calmed her fears and said, "I'll be back before you know it." And these were the last words she ever heard him speak. For 6 days and nights, his fellow islanders searched in vain for Martin's body. And on the 7th day, news came that the body of a fisherman had been washed up further down the coastline in County Clare. Now the ravages of the sea on Martin's muscular body made identification difficult. But there was no mistaking the Geansie, woven and knitted by Myra with all the love she had for her now lost love. She remembered when she had it finished, and he held it up to the light and exclaimed, "This is a symbol of our heritage." The diamond-shaped raised patterns on the Geansie, representing the fields that they both cleared of stone when creating their oasis of green pasture. And the ruffled stitch that ran across the diamond, representing the seaweed that they both carried up in baskets from the local beach in order to cultivate the newly cleared ground. And the zigzag stitching that ran down one side of the Geansie, representing the western coast of the island that had been battered by the Atlantic for thousands of years, leaving a steep cliff-face drop to the sea. And finally the twisted cables that ran vertically down the Geansie, representing the ropes of the fishermen. "Make them good and strong," he said. "They will bring me luck at sea." And now the pattern of that Geansie will help to unite him with his people. Myra had a spot picked out for him. It faced the Atlantic. She knew in her heart it was what he would have wanted. Just as she knew that this very night he rowed a currach home from heaven's fishing beds. Weave the cables fine and strong on that Geansie love for me. Weave as I go to and fro from the diamond fields to sea, and I'll row my love for all I know till the Atlantic bows its head. But tonight I'll row the currach home from heaven's fishing bed. Oh, tonight I'll row the currach home from heaven's fishing there. Home now, long for the threatened storm, but for once the skies deceived him. Sea rose early, waves so strong. Did I know he'd not have feared it? He faced worse and beat the threat. She kept vigil by the window till she saw his silhouette. With relief in every fibre, she embraced and held him near, and he would reassure her, kiss those cheeks, attract her tears. But somehow this night feels different, faces anxious on the pier. Their eyes search the waves of crashing, or in hope a tinge with fear, and they lie with words of comfort. He can master any storm. When the lifeboat towed, the currach told, all hope sank like a stone. For tradition he adhered to, and he never learned to swim. Then a body from the sea returned, and she prayed, let it be him. Weave the cables fine and strong on that Geansie love for me. Weave as I go to and fro from the diamond fields to sea, and I row my love for all I'm worth till the Atlantic bows its head. But tonight I'll row the currach home from heaven's fishing bed. Oh, tonight I'll row the currach home from heaven's fishing bed. Surrender, an opponent long since known. So those who loved him dearly would once more take him home, and the stitching of the clan embossed the Geansie that he wore. The cables wove with love and care by she who waited on the shore. Keep him warm and dry, she said, on days and nights away. And a pattern on his clothing writes a name above the grave. The island it needs in prayer now. Too oft they've mourned their dead. Their best and bravest washed ashore from where their fathers lay. For the currach's lost its battle, the Atlantic roared and heaved. A soul's lost to the island, and another one's bereaved. And row my love for all you're worth till the Atlantic bows its head. For tonight you row the currach home from heaven's fishing bed. Weave the cables fine and strong on that Geansie love for me. Weave as I go to and fro from the diamond fields to sea, and I'll row my love for all I'm worth till the Atlantic bows its head. But tonight I'll I'll row the currach home from heaven's fishing bed. Oh, tonight I'll row the currach home from heaven's fishing bed. Oh, tonight I'll row the currach home from heaven.